Welcome to the Sarah Scoop Show. It's time to get the scoop with Sarah.
Hi, my name's Ashley Zarah. I am an Iranian-American musician from Los Angeles, California, and I call my music dark pop because it's pop music, but it also elevates the dark parts in life. So recognizing that there's a balance of that, because that's super important. So when I was a kid, I kind of was just obsessed with it, and I thought that everybody else was too. My household, no one is a musician, but everybody really loves music, and so it was very natural for me to be like, oh, this is a thing that we all adore and we all want to take part of. But that feeling just never went away from me. So whereas other people might have thought like music is fun and it's a hobby, I was like, no, it's my life. What do you mean? So I kind of clung tightly to it. In a Middle Eastern community, especially for women and a first generation American, it was very difficult to try to pursue a career in art because it was just looked down upon. They kind of want you to be a doctor, lawyer, that kind of shebang. But I kind of secretly started applying to music schools, and I got accepted to Berklee College of Music in Boston, and moved over there for 4 years, which really gave me the freedom to just kind of explore who I am as a person and as an artist, and really discover like, who is Ashley Zarah? What kind of music does she write? What are the topics that she cares about? And that's kind of how it all came together, and as well as my confidence to perform and to write and be proud of what I'm doing and see it affect people. And since then, I just have run with it. It's something I love. I have really eclectic taste, and I always have. But I guess most recently, the people I'm really in love with are Banks, The Neighborhood, the 1975, Lights. She's incredible. And my favorite band of all time is Coldplay. But because I have really eclectic taste, like I was raised listening to Linkin Park and Young the Giant and Christina Aguilera and Jessie J, and then a bunch of Iranian folk musicians and then Iranian pop musicians. So that's why I'd like to think of my work as like a nice witch's cauldron, witch's brew of genres and cultures and stuff. But as of now, the more, I guess, like alternative pop, alternative rock kind of realm. I love their sound textures and their writing. Is just, yeah, those three in particular, they're the best. I think I'd probably say Coldplay, because I think that's like my number zero. That's what I call them, because they just trump every other artist, band, that just all of them. And there's something about their writing, both the writing of the music and the writing of the lyrics, that is so honest. Like every chord that they use, their use of harmony is all with intention. Nothing is there for no reason. And their lyrics are exactly the same way. And I think I'd like to think that for most songwriters, that's the goal, to make sure that every single word counts, every moment makes an impact. And so writing with them, I'm sure would be like an absolute dream. It would be a gift. I like to use an analogy oftentimes when I talk about it. I actually, my nails even fit the analogy I'm about to give. It's kind of like when you're painting, and let's say your canvas starts off as a black canvas. So instead of, normally we see it's a white one, it's a black one. And life can be very bleak. It could feel completely empty, void of color. And oftentimes we feel in our darkest moments that nothing is good, but really good things are happening. We just don't notice them as much because of where our mind is at. And throughout life, so if you start with this black canvas, every experience you have is kind of like a dash of color that gets tossed on top. And so every relationship that you gain, every opportunity, every smile that you get on the street, like all of that stuff, there are pops of color in dark points of your life as well. And so by the end of your life, you do have this dark foundation where everything kind of started, but then there's like all this beautiful splatter, and it's your own unique rainbow kind of work of art. And that's why, like, the nails, they're all black save for a few of them, and my earrings, I just have one to represent that like imbalance and stuff. So yeah, just recognizing that both of them need the light and the dark need each other to exist, and they're always existing concurrently. It's never only getting better or only getting worse. It's always there. And I think recognizing that puts less pressure on ourselves to be like, well, it should only be getting better. Why is it like almost better, but still sucks? You know, it's like they're always floating around with each other, and that's okay, because that's normal. That's life. Life is very dark pop, and that's all right. It's supposed to be that way. These recent singles all share this common theme of like getting rid of shit people who just enter your life and try to like take advantage of you, and just kind of understanding that once we fall in love with ourselves and once we are our own best friends and you just kind of elevate your self-worth, then it's very easy to get rid of those shit people. Like, you just don't want them around anymore. It's not fun. But only when you really like yourself, you're like, oh, this kind of person is not for me. And my boyfriend was actually written like 3 years ago, because there was this drummer that I worked with, and we were very close friends. We knew each other for a few years, and you know, you work in close proximity with another person, and it kind of like started pushing our friendship boundaries a little bit more. And so we had this like summer where we decided we were gonna just like have fun with each other, and once anything got weird, then it would be over, because our relationship is important. It was very soon after that I realized he was crazy, and like he just had a lot of narcissistic tendencies. Everything was always my fault. He couldn't take responsibility for everything. He was rude to everyone, like, and I felt nervous introducing him to my friends. And if you ever feel like embarrassed to be around another person in public, that's probably a really good sign that like you don't even want to be with them. Because he's like, my friends, the company I keep, it's a reflection of who I am. And if someone who is like homophobic and awful to the waiter and stuff like that is around my friends, that's a reflection of me and what I'm okay with. And I was not okay with that stuff. But he was my friend. So I kept telling myself it was okay. And it was not. And he's gone, and we haven't talked in a very long time, thank goodness. But that song was a kind of in your face, like, listen, you're not my boyfriend. You've never been my boyfriend, and you will never be my boyfriend. And here's why. And so that was kind of the situation with that one. Let Go follows that. I kind of realized after I wrote it that it wasn't written about one particular relationship. It was written about like nearly every romantic relationship that I've had, which is kind of a shame. But I'm a very empathetic person. I listen a lot. I'm very patient. I like to give. And I guess that was attracting a lot of people who like to only receive and like to have attention. And yeah. And so when those kinds of relationships would end, these people would always tend to like come back. They were seeking attention from me again. They're like, no, Ashley, she likes me. She'll, we can do this all over again, to give them like some sort of high of being dominant again. And once I let go of a person, I let go of it. I'm not interested in seeing where it can possibly go. I don't have a deluded memory of how it was in the past. Like, I know how it was. That's why I'm not doing it again. And it's just funny to see people who are like blatantly mean to you think that they can come back and like restart things. So the song is kind of like another one of those, please leave, let go, move on with your life. Like, you are not needed here. No one's interested in having your company. So just hoping that they move on and get over it, just like you have. So. I believe that everything that happens to us is for a reason, that the things that happen are unique challenges that are tailored to you because you need to learn something from them in that specific way. So I think every person going through what they're going through, it's necessary. There's something that needs to be lifted up for you to look at and be like, this is something I need to change or want to change. So on a personal level, you can't really avoid reflecting on your life and the things that you want to fix and work on and stuff like that. But in a professional capacity, it's really interesting because apparently for the first time, music streaming has a new competitor, and it's video streaming. And we've never been in competition with one another, but people are passing the time more by watching, like binge watching shows and watching movies. And if they are listening to music, they're listening to music that's nostalgic for them. That's from like their childhood or from the olden days for that person, because it's comfortable. So new music is struggling right now, and people are not really streaming our work, which I guess I understand, but that's hard to wrap your head around, because the music industry is functioning in a way that like you can only make money if you're touring and playing live and selling merch. And that's also a thing that's been taken away, kind of. For that reason, I decided to expedite my merch. So I figured like maybe people can like buy a really soft tank top that has a song lyric on it instead. And that's helped a bit. That's been nice. But you know, it's kind of hard for everybody. Everyone's navigating it differently. And I think instead of being overwhelmed by the overall challenge, just taking every single day and like doing it the best that I can, trying to find the best solutions for that day, for that moment. Yeah, we're all kind of going through it in our own way, and that's all right. It'll be over. Again, things happen in waves. There has to be an end to this, and once it happens, it'll be great. We'll be very grateful at that point. All of these music releases are leading up to an LP of mine called Better Mess. It's really special to me, and it's cool to juxtapose the full project with the singles that have been being released, because the singles are kind of about like who I became, whereas the LP is how I got there. And so lyrically it's a lot darker. The stories are a little bit more vivid, and it's really special to me because it's kind of documented like the past 4 years of my life. These were the gems that stood out to me, that really marked moments where I was like, oh my God, I understand something, and I'm a new person because of it. And this song is what helped me get to that understanding. And so the Better Mess LP is coming out most likely the end of September of 2020. And I'm really excited. The only reason that it's a indefinite date is because of COVID. Some of our visual projects got put on the side because I can't congregate with people, which is totally fine. So I'm figuring out alternatives for that. But either way, the music is coming out, and I'm super stoked. So excited for everyone to hear it.
Thank you for watching The Sarah Scoop Show. Head to sarahscoop.com for more.